Hey there, fellow wackadoos. Hello again, and welcome back to Dr. Doodle's QBasic Asylum. This looks like this, what, episode 29, I believe? Yeah, QBA29. And now, listen, by this point in your career, I'm sure you've watched all my other videos, and therefore you know everything there is to know about programming. So I'm sure by now you've written your million-dollar game, a spreadsheet, word processor, whatever you're into. And now you've got it, you just need to market the thing, but you need needs a little something, needs a little panache, a little splash. So I've written this thing here, and what it does is, well, you'll see what it does. Hang on one second. Check this out. Alright, so we've got QBA29.base loaded up here, ready to go. Let's run her, see what we got. Bang. Now it says here, enter text up to 20 characters, enter to quit. So we'll type in QBasic. What's going on here? Oh, sticky key there. QBasic rocks. If I could spell today. Boom. Now, a scale factor, I like to go with 5, and then option 3, and boom, there you have it. QBasic rocks. Yeah, so now you got your nice flashy text to put across your game, your spreadsheet, whatever you're doing here. But this is just one option. We can do lots of different things. Hang on, let me zoom in a bit here, see if I can a little better detail. There we go. And try again, QBasic. Why is that sticking tonight? Darn shift key. Alright, so scale factor 5. We'll go with 1. And it's just solid text. Try option 2. Oh, that shift key is bugging me. QBasic rules. So scale 5, try option 2. Now you can see, yeah, there's like, instead of solid text, you got dots there. What else we got here? Alright, so 5 again. Here's option 3. That's what we saw at first. Keep going here. Scale factor 5. What's 4 look like? Okay, that one's kind of cool, like a backslash sort of thing. Well, if you got a backslash, you got to have what? Got to have a forward slash, right? What's next here? QBasic a 5 and option 6. Okay, that's kind of neat. It's like a boxes with slashes through them. This camera has not really given the best detail, but you'll run it, you'll see what happens here. Try again. That was 6, scale factor 5, and we'll go with 7 this time. Ooh, like straight lines. 5, let's try 8. Ooh, slanted. We got italic, I guess you'd say. And finally, scale factor 5 and option 9. Boop, little dots, kind of like a marquee sort of thing, you know, like LEDs going across. So those are our options, but we have one other thing up our sleeve. Check this out. Instead of input type 1, we'll go 2 and run. Now if you notice, it's already got the text up here, so we'll go scale factor 5 and option 3. What the fork? Now I'm not gonna lie, I did this because I thought it'd be a cool thumbnail. I mean, look at that. What the fork? I mean, come on. Anyway, so yeah, this just shows that you can different colors. You know, you can, like I say, you can. No, hold on a second. What's going on here? There we go. Now, just one more thing to show you, and go back to 1. Run. Now we'll go say capital A, lowercase a, boom, and scale factor, I don't know, 8, option 3. Now, see here, we've actually, this is what it looked like on screen, and this is what it looks like it was sent to a file. The idea being that you can create your own font, if you will, if you want to have a bunch of just one letter at a time. But we'll get to that in a bit. So, out of here and quit. Alright, we're seeing what this critter does. Let's see how it does it. Hold on one second. Alright, so here we have QBA29.base. Let's make a splash by Dr. Doodle, and of course, copyleft 2025. So as always, first thing we do, we initialize the program, def int A through Z. And for those who haven't seen, that just makes all our variables integer by default, speeds the process up, makes it simpler. Screen 12, that's our screen graphics mode, excuse me, 640 by 320 pixels high and 16 colors. Now we dim text. Text is an array to save the text that we put up on screen. We want to save it to file. It just, you'll see what we do there. Max character equals okay, well, 8 times 20 minus 1. What this is each character is 8 pixels in size when you just type it up on screen. We want to go up to 20 characters, so 8 times 20 minus 1. It just, you need minus 1 there. It just, I don't know. Anyway, that's the maximum characters, 20 characters, and offset X is 10, offset Y is 100. That's when you render it up on screen. It sets it over 10 and down by 100 pixels. Now, we've got our program initialized. Our main program is pretty simple. All it does is call a bunch of subroutines. Do go sub get input, go sub scan string. That's where it actually scans the string you type in. Go sub render, which displays it on screen. And we got this one, go sub save that shit. That's to save it to the file, which, oh, can you even see that? Yeah, let's scroll up here. And then we loop, and that's it. So basically the main program just calls these subroutines. So let's take a look at our subroutines. We got get input. All right, input type 1, that's what you saw first, where you actually type it in, enter text up to 20 characters, enter to quit, and then print character. If character equals nothing, then go sub quit. In other words, if you just hit enter, there's no character, so it quits. Now, case 2, that's the where it says, what the fork? But if you notice, color, print, color. So you can change the colors, you can put them in different locations on the screen, and have fun with that. Next, we go to print, select scale factor 2 through 8. Pretty self-explanatory. It just tells you what to multiply by, 2 being the smallest. No point in doing a scale of 1 to 1. It's already that size, so at least you want to double the size from 2 through 8. Do factor equals value in key, loop while factor equals 0. In other words, until you've pressed a key, it just sits there and waits for you. Now we print the factor and sleep. What's next here? Go sleep again, waits until you've pressed a key. I could have just gone sleep there, but anyway, if factor is less than 2, then goes to quit. So if you hit 1, then it'll quit the program. That's when you're using the color style, whatever. If factor is greater than 9, then factor equals 9, so it can't be greater than that, otherwise it'll be off the screen, you won't be able to see it. Print, select option 1 through 9, do option equals val in key loop while opt equals 0. In other words, it's looping until you actually press an in key, or press a key at 1 through 9. Once it does that, it prints the option. That's the option that you want. How you want to print it out, whether the solid blocks or the empty boxes or the slashes, what have you. So that gets our input. Now we go to scan string. It's really pretty simple. All it does is we start with 0. Now, if you remember up here, we we created our text array to store the information that we're saving from the screen. And now we're coming down here. So with scan string, we start with z equals 0. For y equals 16 to 32. For x equals 0 to max characters. So if it's like 1 character, then that'll be 8 spaces over, because each character is 8 wide, 16 high. But if it's 10 characters, then what, 160 pixels over. So text z, this is our array now. For the first z, we just take the point. Now the point, let me click on help here. Point, help, point. Okay, point returns the current graphics coordinates or the color attribute of a specified pixel. So what we're doing is we're looking where you type your input, QBasic rocks, whatever, and it's scanning pixel by pixel. Is it black? Is it white? There you go. It basically just tells you, escape here. It's scanning the actual text on screen. So it goes left to right and then down, left to right, down, left, right, down. So it stuffs that information to the array. The first pixel might be black, might be white, and it stores that into the array text. Now we go z equals z plus 1. So the next element in the text, next x. So the pixel by pixel by pixel, we're storing this data into an array called text. Once we got it stored, now we render it. And here's where the magic happens. So we clear the screen, the line, this is the area that is scanned from pixel 0 to 15 over to 163.32, excuse me. Basically, it's a box about, well, you know, let's run this here. You'll see, howdy. And go, I don't know, 5 and 1. See that line? Now, when we had the text howdy up there, that's the spot that is actually scanned, and then it renders it down here. You know, whatever factor, what scale factor you want. So enter here. But that's all. That's all that does. We can rem that out. We don't even need this line. It's just to show, give you an idea how it works. So now we start with 0. That's our first element in our array that we already saved. Again, x to y, just we scanned it left to right, top to the bottom, and now we're rendering it left to right, top to bottom. Now we go to select case option. Now option 1, that was just, well, you'll see here, line x plus offset x. We saw the offsets up top there, just sets it down and over. Y plus offset y. Now we're drawing a line from x to x plus the factor. So if it's twice as wide, then it's going 2 pixels over. If it's 4 times as high, it goes 4 pixels over, etc. So what we're doing, x to y, x and y to x plus factor plus offset, y plus factor plus offset. And then we print the element of the array. In other words, we're looking at text z, the first one. If that's 0, prints nothing. If it's 1, it prints white. And the box fill just prints the box. So it's either a black or white box, essentially. Now this one, option 2, bring it back here, take it forever. Okay. Option case 2, again, line plus offset x plus offset y. From x to x plus factor, because we're multiplying width and height. X plus factor. Now this time, we're subtracting 2 and then doing the box fill. What that does, we'll do this here, run. Okay, we'll go 4 or whatever, and then option 2. Now if you notice, yeah, I guess you can kind of see this, again, this camera's not the best, but instead of solid text, you've got little dots, little boxes, if you will. And because it was x minus 2, it doesn't go all the way to the next. In other words, you've got little boxes that there's a space between them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And the subtracting 2 is what causes those spaces in there. If you actually run the program, you can see it a lot better. But in any case, so there's the box fill. Now this is a box, basically the same thing, but an empty box. And then there's all different, the slashes and everything else. You download the code and look at it. You can figure out what the different options do. But the idea is you select an option and you draw a line from x to y, x and y, to x and y, and it draws boxes. So if it's, for example, factor 2, that's twice the size, so it'll go over 2 pixels, down 2 pixels. If it's factor 5, it'll go over 5 pixels, down 5 pixels, and then it draws the box. So all we're doing here is just selecting different ways, different little, what's here? Okay, this one here with the offset, that's where we did the what is it, italics. Instead of printing line by line, it shifts each line over one, gives it that slant there, and printing boxes. Essentially, we're printing either filled boxes or empty boxes, but they represent the characters that you print on screen. And select, and if. Now we go to the next element in our array, do the same thing all over. We print the first pixel, the second pixel, third pixel, etc., 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 x and y, then we return. Now, all right, so here's our save that shit subroutine here. This is where you actually save your text to an image or a sprite file. You need to adjust the X and Y values according to which size you choose and how many letters you type. The colored boxes, text, etc. are not necessary but included simply for illustration. So let's go up here, page up. Come on, down here. We'll re-enable this subroutine. Save that shit. We'll run. Boom. Okay, now let's just do capital A and scale factor. I think 6 is probably good, and then go with factor 3. See, now here we've actually saving more screen area than we need, but that's the point. If you want just one character, then you just save this much screen. If you want to print a whole word, 4 or 5 letters, whichever. The idea being that it's saving this much of the screen, and you'll adjust the X and Y so you're saving just what you want. You would do this if you wanted to create a library of a font, basically. You could have A.sprite, B.sprite, C.sprite, and then you can put them anywhere on screen, whatever color, etc. But basically, yeah, this just shows it's saving from the screen to the file, and of course, you don't even need to print this. It's, again, just for demonstration. So, back to the subroutine, you'll see how it does. All right, so you open some file, whatever you want to call it, for output is 1. Now the line there, what was that? Okay, again, these are just illustration, locate from screen, but basically the idea is you scan the screen, just like you did for scanning the screen before. It looks X and Y data. This is the large version though. Instead of scanning the smaller version, this scans the large version. And data equals point X and Y. Like before, we're just scanning, whereas before we scanned up here the actual original print or text. Now we're scanning the enlarged text. So for X and Y, we're going left to right, top to bottom. Now we cycle through pixel by pixel. And at a point, again, we saw that earlier, it's just scanning each pixel. What color is it? We save that information to DAT and then print that on screen. Really don't need to do this. But if we're saving it to file, this is where we would print 1 DAT. In other words, instead of printing it on screen, we're printing it to file. That saves it to the file. Then we go again, next pixel, save it to file. Next pixel, save it to file. Next pixel, save it to file. And again, the line, locate, print, that's all just, again, for illustration. But the whole idea is, just like we scanned the smaller text up here, now we've printed it larger, so we scan the larger text, and we save that data to the file using points. So going X8 to a 131 all the way across, down to the next column and across, or next row, I guess it would be. So we scan pixel by pixel using point, save that data to the file, print 1 DAT, and then later, if you want to use the file, well, you open it, and just basically same idea. You scan it and print it on screen. Now, I purposely left this kind of unfinished because, I don't know, do you want to have a font this big or you want a font that big? Again, colors, you'll need to modify that to whatever you want to do. The idea being, this is how you would scan it, save it to a file, and from that point, then you can have your letters, or individual letters or words, whatever, across the screen. And that's about it for the program. Of course, the final subroutine quit, just clear screen system. Simple as that. So, I'm sure Listen, it's late, I'm tired, but that's how it works. Watch the video again if you have any questions, or just leave something down in the thing. Down there in the description dealie. Comment, say, hey, I don't understand this, or you fool, what are you talking about? But there. So that's how the text works, and run it a few times. You'll get a handle on how it all works and everything else. It's just an idea to try when you have your program and you want a big splash screen. You can try something like this. All right, well, now we've gone through the code, brushed through it anyway, and it's time for Supeeriors. This time we're going with fellow calls himself NerdFirst over on 0612 TV. You'll like this guy. He's so clever, you know, very intelligent. And well, I actually watched he has a series on transistors, how they work, and I mean from the ground up, and everything you need to know about transistors. But he's got all kinds of, you'll see, he's all kinds of great stuff on that page. So let's check him out. Hang on a second. Superiors. All right, well, here we are, the YouTube channel 0612 TV with NerdFirst. And this gentleman, yeah, there he is, NerdFirst. I tell you, I honestly have not watched a lot of his videos, except for, where did it go? Somewhere he's got a tutorial on transistors. I think I mentioned that earlier. But it's all about transistors, electronics, and I mean, you look, he's got hundreds of videos. Look at these. These are not just single videos. They're entire lessons he has on programming, the DEC protocol, whatever that is, long polling, duplex and simplex. What is this one here? Recover files off a broken computer. That's, I could use that because an old computer laying around, some crap on it I need to get. But storing passwords and MZET, what is this? Quick vlog next week, taking a break. All right. But basically, yeah, let's take a look at his playlist. Is probably more helpful here. So he's got learn to learn. Okay. Object-oriented programming, databases, bit manipulation. There's the transistor videos, 13 of them I talked about earlier. Bezier curves, I watched a little bit about that, how they draw those on screen. Huffman compression, data compression. I mean, everything from software to hardware, graph theory. They have to look into that one. Speed modeling, notepad, speed model. What is this? You know, you can see he's got, okay, sorting out algorithms. I love to zone out watching the sorting algorithms. There's all kinds of videos about that. And he's got a whole series of 11 videos on that. And just judging from the work he did with the transistors, I'm sure that all this is just incredible. He's so clear, concise, unlike this fool behind the camera here. But yeah, you got to check out NerdFirst. I'm sorry, 0612 TV with NerdFirst, our host. It's just great stuff. Hundreds of, what has it got? 906 videos. So there is plenty here to explore. Something for everybody. I guarantee you'll find. I like the little smiley face. That's cute. What's this all about? Let's build something. All right, let's build something. Go ahead and check out 0612 TV with NerdFirst, and you will be entertained, you'll be educated, and you just have a great time here. So much to see, and such a great, the video quality, the production quality, I guess should say, is top-notch, unlike the mess that I slap together for you every week, I wish, every month or so. But check out 0612 TV, NerdFirst, and you will just, I think I already said you'll be entertained, you'll be educated, and have a great time. So check it out. Thank you, NerdFirst, for your hard work. And, well, let's go back to the video, I guess, and hang on just one second. All right, well, there you have it. We've made a splash with QBA29 base splash. Honestly, to tell the truth, more of a mess than a splash. But again, just to watch the video again if you need to, download it, mess with it, you'll pick up what's going on. Essentially, the idea is pretty simple. Really, it's just a concept. You type your text up on screen, scan that part of the screen, and enlarge it. Then you scan that again to a file if you want to save it and whatever you want to do. But it's a simple concept, really, and I think if you download it and try it, mess with it, you'll see what's going on there. And then, of course, we checked out Nerd Perfect over on 0612 TV. So, again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you putting up with my nonsense. But till then, you know, if you got any questions, want to bitch at me, just leave them down there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. But, well, I guess until next time, folks, remember,